beautiful creative soul, and welcome to another episode of Chakra-Care for the creative soul, a little bit of Sunday soul balm where I and hopefully inspire you to care as much for yourself as you're caring for the world. Hello, my name is Pollyanna and I'm your host today, and I'm so happy to be here with you in the beautiful wake of these blue moon energies at the beginning of September. And so much has been happening. And that is why today's topic is creative connection through sacred embodiment. I asked for inspiration, as I always do for these episodes. And what came through loud and clear a few days ago in the wake of these energies was how important it is to really, in order to navigate these shifting times, to begin to befriend our body. And I'm going to invite you just to place your hands on your heart if it's safe and comfortable to do so. And let's start with a few deep Ave Sa breaths in and out. And again, if you're not familiar with these breaths, they are breaths from my beloved teachers, Master Lady Kira Ra and Sri Ram Ka. And they'll be on right after at 12 noon Eastern. And I hope you'll catch them. It's the only, as I understand, broadcasts are going to be doing live this month, so you're not going to want to miss it. Okay, so on the inhale, we're just opening and expanding into the divine presence within us. And on the exhale, on the sa, we are surrendering and opening to the infinite creative possibilities of the divine within us and allowing that beautiful smile to form on our faces. So I invite you to begin. Ave Sa. And again, Ave Sa. And one more time. Ave Sa. And so there we go. We are ready to go. And when I say go, one of the things that I really want to speak to during this episode is the frantic go, go, go that some of us find ourselves in. A lot of us find ourselves in. You know, we're getting back to the start of another school year if you're a parent, and you might be a teacher, you might be working in the education system, you might be coming off of a summer vacation and going back to work. And so one of the things that a lot of us have been noticing right now is how rapidly shifting these times are. What once used to, shift over a much longer period of time seems to be shifting so much more rapidly. And what that means for a lot of people, and might be something that you're experiencing yourself, and this is why I'm trusting that the guidance came through to speak to it today, is how when our mind is faced with change, our ego mind is faced with change, it tends to often default to resisting it. It tends to push back against it. Why? Because of the uncertainty, because of the mystery, actually, and not knowing exactly what to expect. And what I've been coming to learn along the journey myself is that I like to think of the ego mind as like a really good bodyguard. It's just doing its job. It's trying to keep me safe. And the more I've been learning and, how to observe it rather than identify with it, then the more spaciousness I've been creating. And what I've really been playing with recently, and I invite you to consider doing the same, is to, as I spoke about in last week's episode, to start with the noticing what you're noticing. And what I've been noticing is that when there is a change or even even an expected change, like a transition coming up in my life. For example, I'm going to be heading back into the classroom on Tuesday. I've noticed with each passing year, it's become easier and easier. And this year it's become really easy. And yet I still notice this aspect of myself that, excuse me, must be clearing something, that, that still offers a little bit of pushback. It still offers a little bit of resistance. And when I can notice that resistance, notice that pushback, and just smile at it and be curious about it. And also, really importantly, what I wanted to share is not try to control it or make it be other than it is. When I can accept it and love it and thank it for doing a really good job at trying to keep me safe, and at the same time use that noticing what I'm noticing to step back and recognize that it is not all of me. It is not the totality of who I am and how I identify with I am. Because the I am is my conscious awareness. The I am is the observer self and its ever expanding awareness, offering me more and more options than when I identified with the thoughts and the fears bubbling up of the ego mind. And so when I talk about sacred embodiment, what I'm talking about, I want to unpack this a little bit, and then we're going to go into an experience. And I'm going to finish a little earlier today as well, too, is to begin to shift out of the overthinking that happens when we identify with those fearful thoughts that take us into that, down that rabbit hole, into, oh my goodness, I don't know what to expect. And it oftentimes will have memories coming up from the past that can kind of keep us in lockdown and stuck in our overthinking minds, right? And so the sacred embodiment is about moving from thought into sensation, simply put. And I've been a chakra dance facilitator now for close to 10 years, and I've been loving the journey. And what I've been learning through my own chakra dance experience, and I've been witnessing in other people that I've been sharing it with, is how important in this rapidly changing world that we shift at a certain stage in our journey into an awareness of our body so that we can reassure the body. And in reassuring the body, we allow the possibility for the mind to calm down so that we can then begin our healing journey. We can begin to move the energy and move our lives. And so the sacred embodiment is sort of like the opposite of if you're just kind of on autopilot and dragging your body around through the day, you know, sort of committed to your to-do list, but kind of numbed out to how your body is experiencing everything that you're dragging it through. And so sacred, the word sacred itself is all about what we place our attention on and what we, with our full presence, and how important that is to us and how precious it is to us. Like, you know, we cherish it beyond words, beyond anything. It's just so vital and so beautiful. And there's so much truth in that too. I can feel that when I say that. And the other part to it is the creative connection through sacred embodiment. So what I'm getting at there, because this might sound a little abstract at first, is this idea that when we're, you know, shifting out of the pain loops that come from overthinking and emerge out of that rabbit hole into befriending our body by noticing the sensations in it and what wants to emerge through our now experience, then the beautiful thing that happens is not only is the mind calm and we start to restore a sense of, you know, this moment is sacred, this time with connecting with ourselves is sacred, we also are calmer to be more creative. And so as the things that we're noticing bubble up to our awareness in the right and perfect divine timing, and we allow ourselves to be open and curious and release them rather than resist them or pushing them down or repressing them, then we naturally connect to our creativity without having to. And the other thing I just want to share too is that when things bubble up to the surface, what I've noticed in my own journey, and I know probably a lot of you who are listening are not only on a healing journey, but maybe working in a healing capacity. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you are a healer per se, but you might be working in some sort of serving profession where you feel on a soul level you're guided to share your light in whatever way. This can take on so many different faces and expressions. And so when we are experiencing that sense of just possibility, creative possibility, and opening to that and letting the love be stronger than the fear in the moment, then that's where we restore that creative connection through sacred embodiment. And it really is a coming home to ourselves, a reunification with ourselves. So that's something I just really felt guided to share with all of you. And I'm going to just take a moment and check in over at the chat to see if there are any comments or anything. And I'm not seeing anything right now. So I am going to jump into our experience. And this experience is going to be the beginning of many more upcoming experiences in a similar vein along this line of creative connection through sacred embodiment. And so today we're going to be just doing a general check-in to begin to build this momentum that will grow over the coming episodes, and really do a little bit more of a deeper exploration into what you're noticing. Oh, and I remember that's where my mind sort of went on a different track for a second. What I also wanted to share too before we go into this is one of the things I've been learning along the way is that when we're doing healing work, when we're doing service work for others and things bubble up to the surface, it's not about necessarily re-experiencing anything that was traumatic or difficult or painful. It's not necessary. More than ever, I've been finding in my own journey, what's necessary is the presence, is the compassion, is the staying in my heart and noticing with openness and curiosity, free from judgment, what is bubbling up to the surface, and trusting that if it's bubbling up to the surface and it feels a little less than joyous, it's because it wants to be released. It doesn't want to be engaged in again and have more stories made up around it. In the past, what I didn't recognize was that when something bubbled up to the surface, I started making up a story around it that things were moving in the wrong direction, and it pulled me back down into the mosh pit. And then I had to work really hard to get out of the mosh pit, or so I thought at the time. And what I've been expanding into realizing over time and deeper dives into all of this is that really everything that bubbles up to the surface is giving us, our soul is giving us the option to just let it go, to just release it, to thank it, bless it, and release it. And so I'm going to invite you to do the same today in our sacred embodiment practice. And I'm going to start off in a moment now with a guided meditation. And then just to give you a little heads up, when we go into the sensing phase, you're more than welcome, if it's comfortable to do so, to stand up, or you can sit in your chair or where you're laying down. It's completely up to you. Just allow yourself a little bit of space where it's safe to do so, to move as you feel guided to. And this isn't a chakra dance practice per se. It's a sensing practice. And, but I guess with being, like I shared with you, a chakra dance facilitator, this comes very naturally to me. And I really feel inspired to share it with all of you. So I'm going to invite you just to take a moment now and to find a place where you're comfortable and to bring your hands to your heart and notice the warmth of your hands on your heart as you gently begin to close your eyes, feeling the warmth of your hands on your heart and the warmth of your heart on your hands. Noticing your breathing, allowing it to get a little slower with each inhalation and exhalation. And then beginning to see, sense, or imagine high above your head a beautiful stream of golden liquid light beginning to pour in to the crown of your head, washing in behind your eyes, softening and relaxing them. And then using your breath to gently guide that light down along your throat, into the chalice of your heart, until it's overflowing into your stomach, and then down into your sit bone. Seeing, sensing, feeling every single cell of your body illuminating, coming online with the divine. As you begin to breathe that beautiful golden liquid light energy down along each of your legs and out through the soles of your feet, through the many layers of the earth, deep into the crystalline core of Mother Earth. Feeling rooted, anchored, secure, and safe. Sending gratitude to Mother Earth and Father Sky for this beautiful continuum of connection and the energy that's flowing now. And then beginning to breathe that gratitude back up from the crystalline core of Mother Earth, up through the many layers of the earth, up into the soles of your feet, up along your legs, up to your sit bone, and then up through your stomach, back into your heart. And allowing that beautiful golden liquid light that's overflowing with gratitude to pour out from that chalice in your heart, sending it out into the many layers of your energy field, breathing it and circulating it around you. Feeling that beautiful cocoon of light holding you and cradling you in this now moment. Inviting you to befriend yourself and to notice what you're noticing. Breathing into that now. And now bringing your awareness into your sit bone area where your root chakra is in the traditional chakra system. And beginning to see this beautiful area beginning to glow a ruby red. And just being open and curious. Noticing the weight of your body on your chair or where you're laying down or where you're standing. And just breathing into this space and noticing what you are noticing. You might be recalling a memory, receiving an insight, or noticing physical sensations such as temperature or something else. Invite the first thing that bubbles up to the surface of your awareness and send gratitude to it. Continuing to breathe your energy up to the area just around your belly button and seeing it begin to glow a beautiful orange, tangerine orange light bright. And again, noticing what you're noticing. Taking a moment to be with that energy. And then breathing your awareness up to the area beneath your rib cage, your solar plexus chakra. Breathing into that sunny yellow golden light, expanding and noticing what you're noticing. Tuning into this energy center in your body. And again, continuing to breathe your awareness into the center of your chest, into your heart chakra, seeing this emerald green or pink light begin to just ripple out as you notice what you're sensing in your body. You might have an urge to move your body in a certain way. You might have an urge to lift your head or wriggle your fingers. Just trust yourself. And continuing to breathe your awareness up to the area of your throat chakra. Noticing any sensations in this area of your body. And again, if you're not noticing sensations, it's completely okay. And if you are, it's completely okay too. Remember to be compassionate, kind, present to yourself in this now moment. Whatever you are noticing is perfect. And then continuing to breathe your awareness up to that space in between your eyebrows, your third eye chakra. And again, being open and curious, noticing what you're noticing, sensing in your body. And beginning to breathe your awareness up now to your top of your head, to your crown chakra, and noticing any sensations there as well. Any tingling, any buzzing, any heaviness. Trusting that it's all good and it's all here to serve you in this now moment. And then breathing your awareness up to your soul star chakra about 8 inches above your head. Feeling into it. It might feel a little more abstract for some of you. This is the traditional 7 embodied chakra system. We're moving a little beyond it. Might be completely comfortable too. This might be where you feel most at home. It's all good. And now I'm going to offer you a moment to be with yourself and everything that you've been sensing in your body. And I invite you, as you do so, to place your hands on the one area in your body that your hands feel most guided to move to. In fact, you may even want to bring your hands above your head and begin to scan down, taking your time slowly and noticing where your hands are magnetically drawn to rest on your body. I'm going to offer you some sacred space and time to do that now. Enjoy. Thank you for taking the time to check in with yourself today and to care as much for yourself as you're caring for the world, beautiful creative soul. I invite you to play with this experience of sensing and noticing what you're noticing in your body. And pay extra attention to your dreams tonight. Notice any aha moments, any insights you might be receiving along the way. And just be kind and compassionate with yourself, whatever is bubbling up to the surface. And I look forward to connecting with you next time at the same time and in the same place. And until then, wishing you infinite creative blessings and infinite creativity. Lots of love and light. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be here with you and share the sacred time and space with you. Lots of love and light. Be well.